everything you do at home with your family and your spouse and your friends, everything you do in your community, everything you do in your business and your organization, all rises and falls on leadership.
Whether or not you're a natural born leader, whether or not this is maybe the first time you're kind of exploring and discovering leadership, that you will leave here a far better leader. And you see, you're going to learn throughout the series, especially today, that everything you do is determined by your level of leadership. Your effectiveness in business, your effectiveness in your family, your effectiveness in the community, your success, your income, the referrals you get, everything you do in life rises and falls on leadership.
Let's say sitting here today that you can determine, 10 being the highest, that your level of leadership right now is a 6. You'll never be able to lead anything or anyone higher than about a 5, because that's your cap on your ability to lead. You have a lid on your effectiveness, on your success, on how far you can take people. And so what we are going to learn today is how to lift the lid on that leadership, how to grow ourselves, our teams, our organizations, how to become more successful and prosperous simply because we're going to lift the lid on our leadership.
You will be lifting the lid on your ability to lead your business, your organization, your team, your family, your role in the community, everything. Take the time to set up with either your boss, somebody who works for you, somebody who works with you, and take the time. One-on-one is by far the most effective way to do this. And you can sit down for coffee, you can go to lunch, whatever it is you do, just take the time one-on-one and get to know life through that person's eyes. When you take the time to do that, the kind of team player that person will become, the kind of loyalty and trust that you will build, the kind of effort that they will begin to give to the organization will be life-changing.
So as leaders, what that tells us is how critical it is to have good leadership. Because if you become the kind of leader that casts a vision, that allows your team to know that they are part of it, that their goals align up with the team's goals, if you add value to the people you're talking to, if you take time to connect, to earn trust, to earn loyalty, those people will double their efficiency. You could actually have twice the workforce and it won't cost you anymore just by becoming a great leader. See, people won't go along with you until they can get along with you.
That thousands of generations ago, when we all lived in villages and we had to stand up on a box as an order and give a public speech, that we had to care what we said. We had to be cautious with our words because we were being scrutinized and judged. And if you didn't care what you thought, and there were people who didn't, and you said something appalling and offensive, you would actually be cast out of the village. And you would lose the protection of the people in the village. You would lose the ability to eat and to survive. And so your life actually depended on speaking and caring what other people thought and knowing that they were going to criticize and critique you. And so this natural fear, this natural cortisol response that we have to public speaking is real. It exists, and it's existed for thousands of generations with good reason.
The 5 before 11 rule simply says that you look at 5 things, that if you achieve those 5 things today, you would feel really accomplished. Probably one of those 5 should be your personal growth. Probably one of those 5 should be your fitness goal. And you just take 5 things that if you just did these 5 things today, you would feel good about your day. And you try to accomplish them before 11, before lunchtime. That takes the discipline to probably shut down your email, put your cell phone in the drawer, put it on vibrate, and go to work on those 5 things. Because we all know that your day will be derailed. It happens to all of us. The fires will begin, and you have to put them out. But if you can begin your day with the most important things, if you can get your 5 before 11 done, you can accomplish so much more, and that little daily habit will compound to begin to rise your level of leadership, to allow you to open doors to success, to make you a better leader, to equip you to lead better and greater, and to accomplish more.
And truly, things that seem difficult become easy. You have sort of this gut intuition about how to go from A to B, and it's by becoming a great leader, and everybody has potential. Now, I know that there's natural-born leaders, but there are most of the greatest leaders in the world are leaders that weren't naturally born as leaders. They had a desire and they intended to learn to become great leaders, and they did.
A failure to plan is a plan to fail. And so we have to plan our days. Leaders plan their days. They carefully think them out, and they take a step further, and they take their priorities, the things that are important to their vision, to their bottom line, to their goals, and they make sure their priorities find a place in their plan.
See, it's really tragic when success goes to someone's head, isn't it? But it's even more tragic when failure goes to someone's head, when somebody's afraid to take action, to stretch themselves, to grow, to take the next logical step that they need to take because they're so afraid to fail.
Everything rises and falls on leadership, on your ability to be a great parent, a great spouse, a great friend, a great community member. And so my hope for you today is that as you leave here, that you will be intentional about lifting your lid, that you will be intentional about becoming a person of even more influence, that you will be intentional about your daily process,